Yeah, first be like, hone your craft, put your energy into your music, have some pride in your music,
Yeah.
make sure it's the best that you can get it, right? To the best of your ability, because that's all anybody can ask of you, right?
Right.
And then you present that to the table, you package that.
One of the biggest obstacles artists face in the music game is access. Getting access to the people that can make it happen, or access to the information and resources you need to get to the next level. That's the key. That's why you need two of the biggest in the game on your side. Introducing McKee, Boomman. Welcome to the real industrial plug. You heard me?
I got, like I said, so many questions. So, like, when you're dealing with a sync, is it the publisher's main job to handle that negotiation, or do you have like a manager? Like, who handles those type of negotiations for you?
Between me and then my team, a small team, and my lawyer, basically, like on the master side, and then because I do have a publisher, they're able to begin negotiations on the deal too. So a lot of times, if they pitch it and they get a sync, they can pre-negotiate the terms, and then I can approve most favored nations, so that the terms are the same on the master side and the pub side. But yeah.
So okay, all right. So I want to now that we know that it's real out here in the field, you know what I mean. Now that we know, I want to go back to the beginning, because like I'm normally dealing with new artists, new entrepreneurs. You know what I mean, people who are looking to get into the industry, and so I want to go back to the beginning. After you realize that the sync game was a real game, right? Did you set your intentions like, I want to be the best at this, or like, what was your mindset?
Oh, nah. You mean like?
So
you mean like, I think like the entire beginning of everything?
No. I mean like
over now recently?
like you said. I think you said back in like 2017 where you got reintroduced to it. Like, what was your mindset at that moment?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my mindset at that moment was like, oh, yeah, this is something new. This is something that I'm naturally apt at. It's not hard. Like, yeah, why couldn't I dominate this space?
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, especially now, my mindset is like, yeah, nah, let me figure out how I can do more, you know?
Right.
But it's always like, when you get into a place or a position, you're always trying to figure out how you could get better and how you can evolve with the times, you know? So I'm never like thinking like, oh, get loud for me, that's it, or go up, that's it. Like, nah, like those things are doing well in this space, but how do I grow? How do I, you know what I'm saying? How do I build a team that can help me grow in this space? It's because it's a lot of opportunity, and I see now that, you know, a lot of artists are using that, you know, as leverage and as a springboard, and I feel like I'm happy to be like one of the examples that people could see where like, oh yeah, nah, it could work. It works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, so going back, so when you, I guess around 2017, you were already in a publishing deal, or?
Yeah, I was already in my publishing deal.
So my question is, if I'm a new writer, let's just call it a writer, right? If I'm a new writer and I'm super interested in syncs, is it a situation like how me and Boom argue over being independent versus being major? Is it a situation where I have to sign a publishing deal to really be in that world?
No, not at all. Because there's music libraries you can submit your music through. The old school tactics is shake hands and kiss babies, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to build relationships. It's like anything. You know, the blessing with having a good publisher and a good team is that they have built these relationships for you in a lot of places. But that's all it is. All I can say, if you my bro, right? But all I could do is just call you and ask you if you could do it. I can't make you do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, but off the relationship, you'll pick up my call. And that's what, you know, new artists have to do just in general. It's like you have to build relationships, but before you do that, hone your craft.
Yeah, don't bring no BS to the table.
Exactly. Yeah, first be like, hone your craft, put your energy into your music, have some pride in your music, make sure it's the best that you can get it, right? To the best of your ability, because that's all anybody can ask of you, right?
Right.
And then you present that to the table, you package that, you pitch that, but you have to build those relationships and know where you're sending these things, and then also work on your approach, and you know what I mean? Because it's just like anything, you have to have some tact about yourself.
So you dropped the bomb on us, and I need help with this one. Music libraries.
Yeah.
What is that?
So music libraries are like companies where they license music, where they're like a third party licensor, and they'll have like either instrumentals or even sometimes, what do you call those, like the catalogs from like back in the day, but everybody could kind of use them.
Like samples, like sample packs?
Kind of like sample packs, but like they're like kind of royalty free catalogs.
Okay,
like,
got you.
Public domain. There you go.
Yeah.
See, yeah. So they have those type of catalogs, but they'll often work with like up and coming artists, independent artists, and they'll represent their music on behalf of that artist for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So you could work with a music library. You can have your music in their library, and they submit it to certain, companies or whatever, and then whatever deal y'all come up with, they usually take an admin fee.
Right.
Like most people will for placing that for you. And they usually have your music in their catalog for a certain amount of time. And then once that time is up, then you
get the music back.
Yeah, exactly.
So why do they have the tracks and all of that? Like, am I supposed to sing on their tracks, or am I bringing my own music to the table?
It just depends. Honestly, it's no one way to do anything. But
they just providing them so if you did need tracks, I guess.
Well, yeah, they will have tracks. Because, see, think about it, right? So if we collab on something, that's why collaboration is important, right? So when you're working with different artists and producers just in general, I encourage most young artists, I'm like, collab with people that you want to come up with, people that are open to work with you. Because even if you're an artist or a songwriter or a producer trying to get a placement or trying to get a sync or whatever, you want to have as many people as possible working the room for you, working that record for you. So if me and you got a record, if I'm on the record by myself, it's only me fighting for that record. But if you're on the record too, it's you fighting for the record. It's everybody who loves you, who believes in you fighting for the record.
Right.
And so that's why it's cool to collab with that way with some music libraries who might want you to, do your music over some of their producers' records, and that's going to make them more apt to work it because everybody benefits.
Everybody's involved, everybody benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, so boom. So now I have the option of the music libraries, which is a great option. Is there like a website for this? I just Google music library.
You can Google like music libraries, sync libraries. Sometimes they call them sync houses. There's a multitude of companies. I wouldn't know all of them off top.
All right, so I'm gonna play Boomman right now. You know what I mean? Because Boomman will say, "Go get the publishing deal. To let the publishers do the work for you."
Yeah, don't get the publishing deal with no leverage.
Well, first let's talk about that. But my question was gonna be, how do I get a publishing deal?
We'll go back to number one, hone your craft.
Yeah.
And then number two, build the relationships, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody in these buildings, they're just relationships. I mean, it was easy for me to get my initial publishing deal, which wasn't a great deal, which is why I say now go get the leverage.
Get the leverage.
Even if you got to hustle and grind a little bit more until you're able to, is because you'll end up in a deal that's not that great. And if you don't have that hustle and know how to work it and have some fortune and favor on your side, the outcome is not going to be the same for you.
Right.
So, but you have to first be noticed for what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? Especially within this industry. You can pitch your music and, do demos, but a lot of people get their publishing deals through having placements and actually doing work and having a buzz, quote unquote.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because just from my small experience in the sync world, a lot of these people prefer that the person be independent.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, not all the time, but most of the time, if you're independent, they don't have to pay you as much.
Okay.
And it's less.
Okay.
I mean, but that just depends on it. It depends on what kind of independent now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the levels, right?
Right.
And you get what you negotiate, not what you're worth. But also, it's just about how much of a headache the paperwork could be. A lot of times with major artists, it can be a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of companies involved. If you have an artist, you know a lot of artists' journey. They sign to him, them, and them.
Right.
So what happens is when you're trying to clear these records, everybody that's involved on the record has to approve, or their parties that represent them. So you have some people who aren't signed, and they can approve everything by themselves. That's best case scenario. Somebody might be signed to somebody who passed away. Now they estate got to approve it. Somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? There's all these varying factors. But what I've really learned is more than people being independent, a lot of the companies and ad agencies and just the people in the music supervisor in general, they like to work with people that they have a relationship and a good experience with.
Yeah.
So they like to work with people who know the space, who can deliver, and, you know, that are on their shit more than anything. So, you know, it's not a headache to clear. If I ask you for something, you're going to send it. Even if I don't use it, I know I could get something from you. So it's just about showing up, over-delivering, and really cultivating that relationship, I think, more than anything, whether being major or independent. But a lot of it is just trust.